gosh, I can't believe that we're witnessing this. Hold on. Muchachos y muchachas, welcome back. So for those that are just joining this live, I'm going to do some data analytics. I'm going to go through the video one more time for those people that are joining live. This is Greg on the right. He has this very viral TikTok video on the data analytics he did for Pennsylvania's mail-in ballot data. So here's the video.
The following information is straight from the pa.gov website and has almost 3.1 million entries. I exported all that information into an Excel sheet, but I was cut off at about 1 million rows, so keep in mind we're working with 1/3 of the whole data set. So the first thing I did was create a column to see if any ballots were mailed out by the government the same day that they were received filled out through the mail by the voter. Turns out about 11,000 were filled out by the voter and returned back to the government the same day the government mailed them out to the voter. I then created a column to see if there were any applications that were approved by the government, mailed out by the government, received by the voter, and then filled out by the voter and mailed back to the government on the same day. And there were 8,205 cases of that. And lastly, I created a column to see if there were any ballots that were received through the mail, filled out before they were even mailed out by the government. There were 7,403 cases of that. Pause the screen to read each definition of the columns. If anyone's able to make sense of these numbers without saying it's fraud, please let me know in the comments.
I'm going to try to make sense of it. I'm going to try to make sense of it too, Greg. So that's Greg on the right. And for those of you that don't know, my daytime job is data analytics. I do it for healthcare. The thing about this data set is it's demographics, and that's right up my alley. So when I saw his video, I got excited. I was like, I need to do some sort of my analytics too. So this is what I'm going to do with you guys. So you just watched the video. Now, please note that he said that there were 3 million results for him. And in my pool, there are 1.8 million results. There's already a discrepancy. Already. I don't know what to make of this, whether or not they went back in the database, they deleted some line items or what. We're going to find out. We're going to look at this data and just give it a whirl. Okay, so let's change the frame here. So I was able to download this data. All right, here's the fun stuff. Here's the fun part. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to look at the things that he was looking at. So for instance, application request date, application approved date. So that's actually a first indication that that something's kind of funny. Now, as I kind of glance over, I don't know if, let me just put a disclaimer out there. I don't know the approval process or how fast it takes, but, you know, it is something to look at if you're a normie and looking into this stuff. So I don't know if on the same date that you request a mail-in ballot that it is approved the same day. Maybe it's an online thing and it's pretty instantaneous. I would think that they would have to look at some certain things before they approve it, and it takes some time to do that, but I digress. Okay, so application request and approval. All right, so this is what I want to do. I want to see if the application request date, let me actually do this. If application request date is the same as the application approved date, and if it is the same date, I want it to say same day approved. And if it's not, I want it to say not same day. So let's copy this formula all the way to, oh crap, this is a million rows. It's gonna take up forever. Let's see what it does. All right, so let's put that in a pivot table. Pivot tables are a great way to visualize your data almost instantaneously. Okay, so request approval, same date. Come on. Let's put a link to that. All right, so look at this. Look at this. Out of 1 million results. Okay. Let me explain this to you guys. What I just did on the Excel is I was asking Excel, hey, between this column, the date that they requested the mail-in ballot, and this column, the date that they approved the ballot. Tell me what day, if it was the same day or if it was a different day. There's 1 million lines in this Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so there's 1 million requests. You can think of that. 1 million requests. Out of that 1 million requests, majority of them, by a vast number, were approved the same day. I don't know the process. It could be that fast. I don't know it. If you guys know, chime in. Out of 1 million of those requests, only 12 were not approved on the same day. All of the rest were approved on the same day. To me, that's really crazy. But hey, if they approve really fast, they approve really fast. Okay, so now what I want to do is look at these two. This is also something that Greg looked at. These two columns that I'm highlighting, let's highlight this a different color. The ballot mail date is saying that, hey, our office mailed out a ballot to the voter. The ballot return date is stating that the voter returned the ballot to our office and we ingested it via mail. So here's where we're going to check. So mailed out and returned the same day. This same day. Different day equals. All right. So this one should be a little bit more controversial, and let me tell you why. What this formula is going to check is if the Pennsylvania voter office, the administration, mailed out a ballot to the voter, this is going to tell us, okay, but did they return it the same day? Which, not saying it's impossible, but it is questionable why that would happen. In a real world, would you ever think that someone think about it, there's mail time, USPS, it takes about 1 to 3 days for them to mail out, you know, even to locals, mail something from local to local. It's not that fast. So it's near an impossibility. So let's take a look at this. Different day. Same day, different day. Okay, so let's actually go to the pivot table. Insert pivot table. Okay. All right, so we're going to look at mailed out and returned the same day. And we want this as a row. So look at this. First of all, he had 3 million records that pulled up for him. I had 1.8 million. So I don't know what's going on. This is total speculation. I don't know what's going on, but something seems on the back end that somebody's deleting some line items. Because if he had 8,000 same day results where they mailed out the ballot and returned the ballot, and there was 8,000 of those cases, and I only have 1,000, something's going on where they're deleting data. Okay, so ballot mailed out, ballot returned. Now we want to see these two columns now. I'm going to color these green. Ballot requested and the ballot returned. These two are green. So let's take a look at that. And we're gonna put this green. So this is saying, the first green column is saying, hey, I'm a voter and I'm requesting a mail-in ballot. And we go through the second two columns is saying that the application was approved and that the ballot was mailed out to the voter. Now, when we go from the first column, E, and the last green column, H, this is saying that they requested a mail-in ballot and the mail-in ballot was returned the same day. That's what we're going to look at right now. So, same day request and return. So let's look at that data and see how many cases are same day. I'm telling you, they probably went back and deleted some of this data, because if he got different numbers of results, then something's fishy. Okay, so we're gonna do this cell equals this cell, and if it equals the same day, same day, comma, different day. Alright, so guys, I never thought that I would be able to showcase my skills with you. I never thought that there would be a day where I was mixing my passion and my daytime job skills to, you know, find stuff out. Find some shit out. Excuse my language. Okay, so anyway. So, let's see what this brings us. We're going to look at the results. Okay, so let's look at what we just ran. Same day requested the ballot and returned. So look at this. These sneak, I swear, this is what they did. They went in the database and they either changed results. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that we're witnessing this. Hold on. Let me take a look at his video really quick, because I'm pretty sure.
The following information is straight from the PA.gov website and has almost 3.1 million entries. I exported all that information into an Excel sheet, but I was cut off at about 1 million, so keep in mind we're working with 1/3 of the whole data set. So the first thing I do is create a column to see if any voter and return back to the government the same day the government mailed them out to the voter. I then created a column to see if there were any applications that were approved by the government, mailed out by the government, received by the voter, and then filled out by the voter and mailed back to the government on the same day.
The same day.
And there were 8,205 cases of that.
Okay.
And lastly, I created a column to see if there were any ballots that were received through the mail, filled out before they were even mailed out by the government.
This idea that had the 8,000 result, there's only 330. Guys, I cannot believe my eyeballs right now. They went back in and deleted data. Like that's what I'm just assuming. This is my speculation. This is not, concrete. But nobody can go in and say that there's nothing going on. There's something going on. This is what we can conclude. First of all, there's a discrepancy already, because Greg on the right was able to get 3 million results. I only got 1.8 million results. His data analytics stated that there was, I'm showing you guys a blank data sheet. His data analytics was able to produce a lot more results, which is, that's acceptable, because if there's a lot less data, it's about over 1.2 million line items that seem to be deleted from their database. It seems to be, because if he was able to get 3.1 million entries and I was only allowed to get 1.8 million entries, that's just obvious as it is, unless they went into their database and deleted those items. So therefore, another thing is they were also applying a ratio criteria to their database to say, like, for instance, if he got 8,000 cases of those voter, mail outs and returns, 8,000 of those, and I only got 330. So here's the thing. This is what we can say, is that maybe 8,000 of those records just, they were along the 1.3 million entry line items that were, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was deleted or, I don't know. But it was probably part of that subset. Oh, and let's take another look at the data. All right, so I'm going to throw this data in a pivot table. And I want you guys to see. I want you to see the birth dates. And then I'm going to put the amount of birth dates. Okay. You guys see what I see, right? Let me make this a little bigger. Look at that birth date. Get at it. Okay. Calculator. Let me get the calculator out, because this is too much. I gotta check myself. This is too damn much. Okay, so 2020 minus 1800. This person is 200 years old, and there's 38 of those people in there. I kid you not. I kid you not. These are birth dates from Pennsylvania. These are birth dates. So let me tell you something that's really, really strange about this data set. If you see this little arrow here, let me expand this. If you see this arrow here, what this is telling you is that I sorted this in ascending order. So this is saying like it's going from the oldest to the newest. Obviously, these are the oldest birth dates. 001 1800. And let me actually go to the data set and show you guys this. Let me show you guys data. Let me put a filter on this. Let me actually go to the data set and let's sort this by ascending. I want to format this data. Format cells. I want this to say, what I want it to say is the entire year. So the number, dates. I want it to give you the entire year. Here we go. We're in business. Okay, let's just look at this for at face value. There's 38 of these entries, and mind you, this is just, partial of every data set that I have. I have 1.8 million results come up in my thing, and Greg had 3 million results. I don't know if maybe with his data set, if he has more. If they went into maybe they caught on to their own mistakes and they were like, hey, yo, we're being stupid. Like, we need to go in and fix our data because this does look kind of wacky. I don't know if they did that in their, whatever process that got us 1.7 million rows less, but whatever. So there's at least 38 people that are 220 years old that requested a mail-in ballot. Look at the next few birth dates. 1897, 1800 again. Why is this not sorting out? I don't know. The birth dates are freaking out Excel, I guess. So let's just say 2020 minus 1897 the year. This person's 123 years old, which is it's not impossible, but usually you see these stories in the mainstream news even, like, well, there was a 104-year-old who was like, I've got to go vote, Why don't we see more of these stories where there's 100 and something year old people going out to vote? Let's see, so 2020, I'm just going to test out 19 minus 1900. That's 120 years old. How many of these 1900s do we have? There's 5 119-year-olds. 19, 18, 17, 16. There's 2 116-year-olds, and so on and so forth. So 19, 16, 19, 17. So all these old people. Not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible that these people don't exist, and then it goes into more realistic ages like the 20s.
Hello, it is editing me right now that I am reviewing this spreadsheet, and yeah, there is more that I am uncovering with my data analytics. Let's go right to it. So let's go back here. Let's go to the Excel. So this is saying that this is the count of ballot returns. In June was the heaviest. August, there were 15. Does that make sense to you? So let's look at this chart here, and let me make this a little bit bigger for those that have a little trouble. Okay, so this is a little bigger. So let's take a look at these numbers here. In January, 559 mail-in ballots were requested, and then that increased in February by 16,000, and then by March, 90,000 requested. April, 352. May, 352,000, and then in April that was 352,000. In May, 588, close to 600,000 requests. And then in June, 466. That's it. 400, not thousands, 466. Okay, I just want to insert for some context on mail-in ballots for Pennsylvania. I'm reading that so long as ballots are postmarked by 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 3rd, previously ballots had to be received no later than 8 p.m. on election night, that those are counted in the Pennsylvania ballot count. So with what I just showed you, this is the data set that was available on the Pennsylvania government website. And if they didn't include mail-in ballots that were accounted for from August, September, at least October even, I would push it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe there's a 3-month delay. I don't know what their regularities with their data sets being available online. But the fact that many of their mail-in ballot returns, meaning that the voters filled it out and returned it by majority, I think it was I think it was June was the majority. I don't know what to tell you. The data speaks for itself. Something's fishy in the data. I don't know if maybe there's a delay in their update or they're not sharing certain data sets. I don't know what to tell you. That's just what I see, so that's what I can tell you.